This year, I had an opportunity. Somebody called up and said, Mike, they're doing a gun buyback in Laurel. You want to come with us? I was like, well, what do you got in mind? So there were several groups down there, and the police were doing a gun buyback. So we showed up as citizens, and we participated in the gun buyback. And so what we did is when they pulled up and they wanted to sell the firearms to police, we offered more than the police were offering. We had an FFL with us. State policeman came over to me, little guy, dark glasses, colonel. He goes, Delegate, you're going to have to go over there on the other side. There's a whole bunch of police cars lined up. There's about 8 or 10 police cars. You got to go on the other side of those police cars. You can't be here. This is an armory, where they're doing this. I said, well, sir, you really want me to go over there on the other side of those police cars on that middle school property and buy and sell guns? He says, well, it's closed. I said, well, the federal government doesn't make a distinction that the middle school is closed. I'm not going over there. I don't think anybody's going to come over there to sell me their guns. So we're going to stay right here. Well, you can't be on this sidewalk. This is public property. I said, that's the point. We're the public. Then he told me, well, you can't come in our arsenal. I said, well, and I pulled out, I've got about 20,000 of these pocket constitutions I've given out so far, and I had about 700 with me that day, and I had a box of them, and I said, well, sir, I'm here as a duly elected state delegate, and I'm handing out the United States Constitution. I believe it would be a bad career move for you to arrest me for doing so. So I handed one to the police officer behind him, and I turned to, how many of you know Dan, big old Dan? So I turned to Dan, and I said, Dan, if I'm not out in 5 minutes, call somebody. Dan says, Mike, we usually call you. Who do we call? I said, well, I don't know, call somebody. So I went inside, and we handed out constitutions to all the police officers in there, took pictures of the firearms they were buying. We went outside. We successfully bought back about 8 or 10 different firearms, and we were able to pay $50 or $100 more than they were paying. If it came in, it was junk, it was all broke. Go ahead, state police want that. We didn't want to buy it, but we bought some very nice and saved some very historical, nice pieces, and we were able to save them from being destroyed. And they shouldn't be destroyed. These, I called them, the works of art. Some of these things are, hundreds of years old, and they're utilitarian art. They're very useful, and they have a history with them, and they should not be just thrown on the junk heap of history and melted down. So we were able to buy them back. So now what we're going to do is we're going to get together some of the organizations and groups, and we're going to go down into Montgomery County or Prince George's or Baltimore City, and we're going to stage our own buyback. And what we're going to do is everybody who wants to buy something is going to throw in like $25 just to be there and participate, and then we're going to buy back the junk too. And we're going to keep it with the FFL. So when the next time any police organization in the state of Maryland has a buyback, that FFL will go down and take all that money, turn all those guns into them that we pay $25 and get $50 or $100 for them. And then what we'll do is take all that money and give it to this organization or other gun rights organizations in the state, and maybe they'll stop doing the gun buyback.